Did you have experience in that?
Yeah, I seen that. I saw a kid, they said, they saw either, they said they saw the line.
Those stripes. It is more common in my experience to see the strawberry tongue and the slump under the skin, so that's why I picked those two. I'm so glad I didn't fall off that step. Okay, tetanus. This is on page 351 of your book, back in chapter 10. It's caused by a bacteria called Clostridium tetani. With tetanus, we see respiratory compromise, that's your blank. This bacteria causes muscle spasms and rigidity, increased oral secretion. And when I have increased oral secretion and I have muscular rigidity in the neck area, then I can't swallow, and I wind up with some aspiration issues. We give supportive treatment. We can use tetanus, immune globulin, plus a toxoid. They're given at separate sites. And tetanus can be prevented with immunization. And it is the T in a couple of those immunizations we've talked about. Tetanus. So, those are the list of diseases, and they're just like a million of them. But when we think about general infectious diseases and what kind of things you should think about as a nurse, about infectious or communicable diseases, you're worried about people who have high temperatures and how you're going to manage that. You should be thinking about risk for secondary injury secondary to complications. We talked about several of these diseases that had some potential complications. We've talked about rashes. Depending on how old you are, does it matter how you look? So body image is something that we need to consider. Because we have many of these diseases that have rashes, that have pruritus and itching, we can have skin integrity that's impaired that can lead to other issues as well. And then when we have contagion, we put people in isolation because we don't want to share this wonderful thing. And then we have social isolation issues. Oh, I went backwards, sorry. So when you think about the planning that you need to do as a nurse, you're going to be thinking about ways that you can reduce exposure to other children. If you're in a hospital setting, that has to do with isolation. If you're the school nurse, do you have some responsibilities to know who in your school has a chronic illness? Who of you have been to school nursing? Did those nurses have a lot of kids at their school that might have had some sort of impaired immune function? Yeah. And if we find out that somebody in Miss Jones' third grade class has chicken pox, and somebody right down the hall is in the middle of some immunosuppressive therapy, it's part of the nurse's job on that school site to communicate to the parents to help protect those kids. Monitoring temp control measures, look there. We talked about Rye syndrome. Skin care, big deal, big deal. Using short nails, because when I scratch, sometimes my fingernails aren't clean and I can contaminate places and have secondary problems. Rest, monitor for complications. If there's a secondary infection, then we can use meds for that. We need to educate about the available vaccines, information about isolation precautions. What kind of things do parents need to know? So how are we going to know whether we're doing a good job or not? More and more of the kids that we see will have vaccines that are up to date. You're going to know whether they're up to date or not because you're going to be able to compare them to the chart that has been updated every January. That we're doing isolation and we don't have complications. Things that didn't fit anywhere else in this presentation, just to remind you, if you've got somebody who has a rash and you don't know what it then you need to isolate them until you figure it out. So we don't share something that we don't really know. We've already talked about the school nurse. Remember that lotions with active ingredients must be used sparingly, particularly over open lesions. Always, always, always ask about immunizations. There's lines on your clinical paperwork to remind you to ask, even in the inpatient setting, is your kid immunized? What needs to be done next? When you're looking at lesions, wear gloves. Okay? I wonder, pretty cute, huh? It's a pretty cute little guy. Now, I'm going to turn on the light. Because I brought my friend here, and I do know that she looks like she has exophthalmos. Okay, I'm going to turn on the light. Baby. All right. With your notes, I have some arrows. We've been talking about rashes, right? So I need some volunteers. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laminated, colorful cards that have disease names on them. And I would like to have some volunteers who would pick a card and then show your classmates where does the rash start and where does it go with these arrows. There are 3 arrows. I can take 3 volunteers. Who's first? Natalie and Kara. And the other thing that we're going to do is that we're going to sing the Jeopardy song. All right, Natalie, you were so good. Which color you want? Mine. Show your classmates what you got. What'd you get? Okay, so while they think about it, we're going to sing. Okay, so rubella. Okay, I was hoping that you'd show it on her.
Oh, on her?
There
Okay.
you go.
So we start this way?
So Natalie thinks it starts at the face and moves down. Is that what you think?
Yes.
Do you agree? Oh, well, we'll give her a round of applause here.
That's it?
Yep. Okay. I need another volunteer. You were going to help. You want to volunteer?
Was I supposed to help?
Yes, you were supposed to help.
Okay, I was confused.
Okay. Well, I do that all the time. So since I don't want to call on a single person, could I have a pair? How about the people who went to Cambodia? And Rachel? And Abby? Chelsea? Okay, so y'all can help each other. Yes, yes. Okay. Sure. Okay. What color you want? I thought you moved it first. Pink. What'd you get?
Erythema infectious peds disease.
Okay, so we're singing.
It is.
Okay, so what y'all decide?
It starts in our face and moves caudally too in the 5 point.
I like that. Okay, round of applause. Okay, good job. Let's put those down there. I'll take this one. Good. All right, let's see. Do I have any sports team players? Go ahead, Shay. Go ahead, Shay. Did you play baseball? No. Lyme disease. Okay, this one's kind of tricky. Okay, so what do y'all want to say about Lyme disease?
Stars on the stomach, I think. Well, she said it.
Teamwork, that's what this is about. Teamwork. Okay, Lyme disease is kind of tricky. What is it? Can you help me, Elizabeth? Okay, there's something about this Lyme disease. With annular.
It's like bullet, like bullseyes.
With what happens in the middle?
Central healing.
Yes! Yes! Good, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, I've got 4 cards left. What kind of group you got? You got any girls in sororities that start with alpha? Okay. Y'all are really taxing my creativity here. Okay. Suzanne, what color do you want? What you get? Show the class what you got. It says rhodiola. All right, what you got?
We think it starts in the trunk.
You think it starts in the trunk and?
Breast.
So, did anybody in the amphitheater agree with them? So, it starts in the middle and moves out. So, round of applause for our sorority that starts with A, alpha. Okay, just to make sure that nobody thinks I'm picking on just the girls, I think I got. Okay, all the guys. Okay, and you have to pick blue. So, Matthew, since I see you first here, which one of these blues would you like? All right, guys, what you got?
Starts in the stomach and goes out.
Stomach and goes out. Are they right? Are they right? Okay, good job. Good job, guys. All right. Thank you so much. I would like to know who has a birthday in October.